Welcome back to another Attack on Titan Apocalypse Day 0 build, guys, and today we have Pieck Finger Panzer Unit Cartman / Cart Titan Finale. They are a 6 hand size, 29 health character. Both sides have Titan and Warrior as their traits. Pieck, and they also have the Death and Order symbols. Excuse me. So Pieck says, Enhance Commit, build the top card of your deck face down. Just every turn cycle, once per turn, you get a free foundation. And Pieck's gonna need it, because we also have First Enhance, Tenacious, which means the first enhance that you play during any given enhance step if you wish to use this ability, and this ability is playable while committed. Sacrifice 1 foundation. This attack gets +2 or -2 damage. You may then transform Pieck Finger Panzer Unit Cartman. And Cart Titan Finale says, as a static ability, which will always be live, after this character transforms into Cart Titan Finale, you may search your deck for a copy of Anti-Titan Artillery and build it. So you get to build this free asset anytime that you transform into Cart Titan Finale. It is not a necessary ability to use. Like if you've already got one, since it is unique, you don't have to. And then we have a Tenacious Enhance, Sacrifice 1 Foundation, This attack is +3 or -3 speed. You may transform Cart Titan Finale. So Pieck and Cart Titan are interesting because they're the only character that can transform back and forth in this set, and rather easily. For the cost of 2 foundations, you can transform to Cart Titan and back and get +2 damage and +3 speed, which is pretty good, especially when you consider some of the cards we're using here. So what does Pieck want to do? Pieck wants to build a big stage and then blow it all up for a bunch of stats. And I think we were able to do that rather well here. We're going to start with our attacks with Warhammer Titan attacks. A 7/4, 6 mid for 7, and a 2 mid block. It's got Shift, Stun 1, and Titan. Stun 1 meaning as an enhance you can force your rival to commit 1 foundation. Shift is a static ability that says at the end of your turn when you clear this card from your card pool, if you played it this turn, you may build it as its backup side transformed. So pretty cool. And as a response, we can sacrifice 1 foundation. After this attack resolves, we get to build it transformed. So we get to automatically clear it from our card pool and build this very powerful backup. And that backup is the Warhammer Titan. A unique Titan backup with 7 stamina. Enhance, lose 1 stamina. This attack gets +1 damage. If you have sacrificed 1 or more cards this turn, it also gets +1 speed. So Warhammer Titan says all of your attacks are getting 1 speed and 1 damage, as long as we've at the very least played our first enhance on Pieck. Or if we've played the enhance on Cart Titan. So either way, if we've played one of the abilities on our character, all of our attacks are getting 1 speed and 1 damage for the turn. Or at least as many times as we have stamina to spend. And then the first form, which means the first thing that you do after drawing your cards for your turn, sacrifice. If you have fewer foundations than your rival, which we likely will, build the top 2 cards of your deck face down. So between this first form and Pieck's enhance, you get to build 3 foundations on your turn. That's insane. 3 free foundations is huge. Next we have Anti-Titan Artillery Shell. This is a 5/3, 6 mid for 2 with a 2 mid block, Breaker 1, and ranged. Breaker 1 being an ability that after we successfully block with this card, our rival's next check gets -1. As a blitz, if we have 1 or more assets, we get to draw 1 card and our rival commits 1 foundation. Spoiler, we can build our asset really, really easily. So this is just free draw and forcing our rival to commit 1 foundation. In front of 6 speed, mind you. As a response, if this attack deals damage to a character, your rival loses 3 health. So if we're attacking our rival and they can't block it, or they can only half block it, they're going to lose an additional 3 health, and this can reduce them to 0. Or response, after this attack deals damage to a backup, it loses 3 stamina. So putting just a little damage on it, Need some caffeine. So putting any sort of damage on this, plus our asset that we'll get to, plus this burn, this can auto knock out almost any backup in the format. We have Rushing Forward, a 4/3, 3 high for 5 with a 1-minute low block, EX3 Charge and Weapon, EX3 being an enhance ability, spend 1 or more momentum. This attack gets +3 speed for each momentum spent to pay this cost. So if we spend 1 momentum, we get +3 speed, making us a 6 high for 5, which is important because the response of this card says at the start of the block step, if this attack's speed is 6 or greater, draw 1 card. So that's pretty cool. We can automatically make it 6 speed as Cart Titan Finale, so make it a 6 high 5, and then transform back to Pieck, give it 2 damage by sacrificing another foundation, so we can make it a 6 high for 7, and draw a card. And then Deadlock Blitz, draw 1 card, add 1 card from your hand to your momentum. So this means if our rival has at least 11 foundations, we get access to this Blitz, we get to draw another card, and we get a free momentum, possibly to fuel this card's EX ability. We have Colossus SWAT, a 6/3, 5 low for 5 with a 3 high block, Powerful 4, and Titan. Powerful 4 is an enhance ability that says spend 1 or more momentum. For each momentum you spend, you get +4 damage. That's a lot of damage. As a Blitz, add the top 2 cards of your deck to your build the top 2 cards of your deck face down. At the end of your turn, sacrifice them. So if you combine Warhammer Titan's first form, plus Colossus SWAT, plus Pieck, you can build 5 foundations on your first attack, which is crazy. And because you're going to sacrifice these 2 foundations anyway, you can commit them to pass your checks and then sacrifice them for your character for free stats. It is crazy. Next we have Short Range Shot, a 5/3, 7 mid for 3 with a 2 high block, ranged and weapon. Response after 1 or more of your foundations are destroyed, or 1 or more cards are discarded. This attack gets +1 damage. So if we sacrifice, say we're on our human side, sacrifice a foundation for 2 damage, we get an extra damage. So this becomes a 7 mid 6. Then let's say we flip to Cart Titan, enhance, sacrifice 1 foundation to get +3 speed. This gets another damage. This becomes a 10 mid 7. That's pretty good for just using our character twice. And then as a Deadlock Blitz, our rival has to sacrifice a foundation and discard a card. So if they ever go into Deadlock having 11 or more foundations, we get this Blitz, they sacrifice 1, they discard 1, so we get +2 damage there because of our response. And then we can use our character to get another +3 speed and 4 damage. And this can rack up pretty quickly. And last attack is Instant Shining Flash, a 4/3, 4 high for 4 with a 1 low block, charge, ranged, and weapon. Enhance, flip 1 foundation. The next card you try to play this turn gets -1 difficulty, which is pretty good. It helps us string out more. And as a response, after we play this card, our rival spends 1 momentum. And that means if we play it as an attack or as a block, so we can defensively get rid of our rival's momentum as well. Onto our asset, we have Anti-Titan Artillery, a 2/5 with a 2 low block and the unique keyword, which means we can only have 1 in our stage at a time. Enhance Tenacious, again, playable while committed. This attack gets +1 damage. If it deals damage to a Titan backup, that backup loses 1 stamina. Pretty good. But if it deals damage to a Titan character, that character loses 1 health. So imagine, we throw an Anti-Titan Artillery shell at our rival. We give it 3 speed with Pieck, so it's a 9 speed move. Let's say this is our second or third attack. We give it 2 damage with Pieck, so it's got 4 damage. We give it 1 damage with Titan Artillery, so it's 5. And then let's say it deals the unblockable damage to our Titan rival. They'll lose an additional 4 health on top of that. So 1 attack deals 9 damage, and this is not a once per turn ability. You can give 1 damage to all of your moves, and each time one of your moves deals damage to a Titan character, that character will lose an additional health. That is ridiculous anti-Titan tech. which I guess is thematic. And then response commit after your attack deals damage, commit one rival asset or foundation. We get to choose. We hit you, we're going to commit your best piece and keep on hitting you because this ability, this enhance is tenacious. For actions, we have Filled with Doubt, a 2/5 with a 2 mid block. Response after your rival plays an attack, seal it. Sealing a card means it loses all of its abilities and cannot gain abilities, which is really powerful right now in this meta. And then onto backups, I chose Willie Tiber, a 2/5, 4 stamina backup with a 2 low block, unique and ally. As a static, when sacrificing foundations to pay a cost, we may sacrifice this card as though it were a foundation. So for both of our characters' abilities, for Warhammer Titan attacks, we can just sacrifice our backup and not go down a foundation, which is really powerful. Or as a response, we can commit Willie after you sacrifice one or more foundations if the number of foundations in your stage is equal to or less than the number of foundations in your rival's stage. Build the top card of your deck face down committed. So kind of refueling the tank a little bit. And then we could still sacrifice Willie if we want to, because apparently he's all about that. Onto foundations, we have Abrupt Loss, a 1/5 with a 3 low block. Enhance commit, this attack gets +1 damage. If you have sacrificed a foundation this turn, it gets +3 damage instead. So because Pieck can add speed and damage to an attack, this can add even more damage to that and really push through a heavy bomb at your rival. We have Soul Motivation, a 2/5 with a 3 high block. Enhance commit, this attack gets -2 speed, but if you have fewer foundations than your rival, it gets -4 speed instead. Because of all of the sacrificing for plus or minus speed and damage, we're going to have fewer foundations, so this just commits for -4 speed. On top of Card Titan for -3 speed, this character can put up... This is a perfect switch character. A character not quite control-y, but who can pivot between defense and offense very fluidly, and as long as she's got the foundations to back her up, she's going to be dangerous. Speaking of foundations, we have Memories of the Fallen, a 2/5 with a 2 mid block. Response after you block with this card, clear it from your card pool and build the top card of your deck face down committed. So we can pass the check to play this, clear it, build a committed foundation, sacrifice that foundation for -3 speed as Card Titan. It just works. We have Moment of Normalcy, a 2/5 with a 3 high block and the unique keyword. Enhance commit. This attack gets return this attack to its printed speed or damage. We're all about manipulating stats, so I doubt we'll use this offensively. But defensively, if we don't want to sacrifice foundations and our rival's just going nuts on their damage, we can just return it to printed and not worry about it. We have Marley's Warriors, a 2/5 with a 2 mid block. As a warrior first form, which we are a warrior, we can flip this card and commit it. Our checks to play attacks this turn get +1. So to kind of mitigate the fact that we're blowing up our foundation base, we can A, commit and flip a card that we really wouldn't mind blowing up at that point, but all of our checks to play attacks are going to get +1 to kind of mitigate that. We have Concerned for Annie, a 2/5 with a 1 mid block. Response remove after this card is discarded or sacrificed, your attack gets +2 speed. So we can sack it with Pieck on our human side and get +2 speed, +2 damage. Simple. And then Deadlock Enhance, flip, your rival discards 1 card. So this is another very dangerous deadlock threat here. We have Pushing the Limits, a 1/5 with a 3 high block. Response flip, after you sacrifice 1 or more foundations, draw 1 card. So just fueling the fire as we're blowing up our own stage. We have Reinforcements, a 3/5 with a 3 high block. As a static, after this foundation is sacrificed to pay a cost, we get to build the top card of our deck face down. And it builds in ready, so we can commit this to pass a check, sacrifice it, build in a ready foundation to commit to pass checks. It really just refuels our stage. First Wielder, One for All. This is a 2/5 with a 2 high block, ally, and vestige. Response, Tenacious Flip. After you transform your character, gain 2 health and ready 1 foundation that has not been readied this combat phase. So we can ready Abrupt Loss. We can ready Soul Motivation. Because Pieck can transform back and forth so easily, this is a great way to give us a little bit of health gain and some readying of our foundations either offensively to continue our string or defensively to stay alive. We have Disrupting Plans, a 2/5 with a 2 mid block. Enhance, if we have sacrificed a foundation this enhanced step, this attack is +1 damage, so just again stacking more stats on top of our attacks. We have Eaten by the Bearded Titan, a 2/5 with a 3 high block. Enhanced Tenacious, sacrifice, this attack gets -3 speed. It's basically just our character again, but if for some reason our character has been sealed, or we have been flipped over to the Pieck side and we don't want to blow up for like 2 foundations, 1 to transform and 1 to get -3 speed, we just have some Tenacious Speed hate here. We have I'm With You, a 1/5 with a 2 low block. Response, remove. After this card enters your discard pile during the enhanced step, this attack gets +2 or -2 speed. So again, more stat manipulation. Pieck is going to have numbers all over the place, not only offensively, but defensively as well. She's going to be really hard to kill. We have Aaron's Trial, a 3/5 with a 1 mid block. Response, remove. After this attack enters your discard pile during the enhanced step, your rival commits 1 face-up foundation. So we are going to sacrifice it. We're going to give plus or minus speed or damage, and we're going to force our rival to commit 1 of their face-up resources. We've got Weapons Clash, a 2/5 with a 3 high block. Enhance, sacrifice a face-down foundation. This attack gets -2 damage to a minimum of 1, but it's still -2 damage. Or we can flip it as an enhance to build the top card of our deck face-down committed, which we can then just sacrifice for more stat manipulation. And finally, Enormous Axe, a 3/5 with a 1 mid block and the weapon keyword. As a static, after this foundation is destroyed, we get to build the top card of our deck face down. So it's just like another copy of Reinforcements, except it's not just to pay a cost. If we had, if our rival forced us to destroy a foundation with like a Ruin ability, well, Ruin wouldn't work because it's face up, but something like Godzilla. If Godzilla just says, hey, I'm going to nuke the field, we get to build a foundation for each of our Enormous Axes that's destroyed. Now, we won't get to build them in for Reinforcements because it's not a cost, but it's a little bit extra here. And it also has Enhanced Commit. This attack gets +X damage. X equals the number of face-down foundations in your stage, maximum 4. So just even more stats. And that is Pieck Finger. I think Pieck is going to be crazy. I think it's going to be a lot of resource management. So if you're one of the types of players who really likes managing where your resources are and how to maximize the value out of each of your pieces, Pieck's the character for you. Yeah, with so much plus and minus speed and damage and rebuilding foundations and getting bonuses for sacrificing cards with all the free builds she has access to. Because yeah, Colossus SWAT is on Death Attuned. If we played this as more of a straight order list, we could also play Lightning Rod, which is the same as Colossus SWAT, except it's a 4 difficulty attack with a 2 check. And like it's a 4 high 4, I think. But again, we can build 2 cards for free. So if you played her as like this free building, self-destructive type of character, you can absolutely do that. I just chose Death because I wanted access to Enormous Axe and Weapon Clash. But again, other than those two, I'm pretty sure that and Instant Shining Flash. Other than those 3 cards, these are all attuned. So you don't even have to worry about it. You can just play, like if you're doing a lot of this free build stuff, you can do an attuned order outwit list. She's nuts. she's going to be really fun to play and a really fun puzzle to crack. But what do you guys think? I think she's nuts. What do you think? Um, if you enjoyed the video, please leave it a like. Subscribe if you haven't. It really helps the channel get more views and helps more newer players find the channel so that they can learn a lot more about our game. And it sends this out to more TCG players who maybe are looking for a new game to try out. So I will see you in the next one. Take care, guys.